You got to do both movies, two movies back to back.
Yes.
So as a director, storyboarder, how did you approach doing the two movies and making them feel cohesive yet two separate movies?
I mean, luckily I had a really great screenplay that Bob Goodman wrote that separated it out. So he did the hard part by separating out the graphic novel. So on top of that, I wanted to make sure I kept the pacing right, because it's really meant to be one movie. I mean, but I wanted to make it so that even though if you watch part one by itself, you still are satisfied, which is why we didn't introduce things that were originally in like the first comic book, the first graphic novel, which was like Superman. We didn't introduce that early because if there's no payoff of Superman in the first movie, then the audience is going to be like, why did we introduce him? So it was great that Bob had moved a lot of that source material into part two so that things can culminate. And I, as the director, planned on like how, if you were to watch it from beginning to end, one and two back to back, how there's actually a 6-act story where things slowly start building. Part one is meant to be a slow build of character, and then part two is balls to the wall action.
How did you feel about how dark the second movie was?
You know, and what's funny is that like people always say like, oh, part two is darker. Really, it's the same tone that I was trying to keep from part one all the way through. It's just that, of course, there's a lot more violence and action in part two, but in terms of the palettes and everything, we approached it exactly the same way as we did part one.